Hey, good morning, kindergartners. How are you today? Happy Friday to you. Listen, I hope you guys slept very well, that you're up and you're ready to be thinking about your homework. I'm ready to be talking about our homework. So even if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, at least I can explain it to you so that when you do sit down and do it, hopefully it'll make a little bit sense. Because some of the things that we're doing this week in our homework is maybe a little bit harder if we're not doing it together as a class. So let me explain it to you. I think we had a really good week. We had our very first spelling test this week. So we worked on our at words. So these are words that might have a different beginning sound, but the ending sound for all of the words is at. So if we say the word cat, rat, sat, not only do those words rhyme because they have the same ending sounds, but they're also spelt the same. So we're just changing those beginning sounds. Cat, rat, sat. So we spent 2 weeks working on those words, doing different activities, and it just overwhelms my heart when we have them on the board and I can hear everybody reading those words. So that means to me that when you open up your books at home, the books from school, you're going to start recognizing those words and you'll just know how they already sound and you'll be able to read them that much quicker. So really, really proud. Everybody did a great job on that. So in our words this week we learned were his and come. We learned 2 words, his and come. So work on remembering those because every week we just add more and more words. And we have learned, we've learned 30 words now so far. So 30 out of the 50 words, which means, boys and girls, we're getting close to knowing all of the words we're meant to learn in kindergarten. And it's a lot of words. So it tends to go really fast and the words get a little bit harder. So you really, really, really need to be practicing those words at home. And whether that's having them up on the wall and just trying to memorize them or playing matching games with them, writing them, whatever you can do, moms and dads, for your child to help learn these words, that would be fantastic because it sometimes takes a lot more time than we have in kindergarten to do that. Our vibe this week was my mistakes make me better. And we talked about this in terms of, when we're reading or when we're learning about addition and subtraction and we make those mistakes or teen numbers, we learned about, how once we've made a mistake, we keep working on it. We don't give up. We say that a lot. And that those mistakes will make us better because we have learned how not to do something. But we also talked about how our mistakes make us better just in terms of our friendships at recess and how we interact and develop those relationships in class. So, sometimes we usually learn from the mistake because until we make that mistake, we don't know what the consequences are. And so, we just sort of talked about it every which way you can. It's something that I think is a learning skill to know that it's okay to make mistakes. We're meant to make mistakes, and because by making those mistakes, we become better. We become a better all around. We become better here and in here. So let's take a look at our homework this week. The first one we have, it's called Luck of the Numbers. Luck of the Numbers. And we're talking about number order. We did this a little bit yesterday when we had to count on our numbers back there on the board. And I put some out of order and we sort of have to think about what's the next number. And this is a little bit like that. So we are using the page on the opposite or the next page, either the top or the bottom. You only need one set of numbers, and we have to figure out where they best belong. So if we have 5, 7, which number goes in the middle? Okay, and same with over here. We have 11, 12. So use those, cut them out. It might be more helpful to look at those first and see where they fit versus trying to figure it out on your own. So use what you have available to you always, always. Let's take a look at the next page. So pot of addition and subtraction. This is great because this week we worked a lot with word problems and addition and subtraction. And we're still developing our understanding. Addition is a lot easier to grasp and understand for us. Subtraction is a little bit harder because we have to be thinking about taking away. And so this week we worked on word problems. So if we were given a short story, are we doing addition or subtraction? And if we're doing those operations, let's draw it. Always draw it. So if I'm doing addition, I'm going to draw, you know, how many flowers or how many kids. This week we talked about kids on a bus. And subtraction. And it's important that when we do that, that we use that drawing to show that we're taking away. We can show we're taking away by crossing things off. And that's a little bit harder. So we have to use that picture. We use the pictures that we're drawing to help solve our equations, our number sentences. So use the skills that you have, boys and girls. You certainly have room up here. In fact, it says solve the addition or subtraction equation. Cut out and glue the coins above the equation with the correct answer. So again, we have the answers available to us. We just have to figure out, and there are 3 sets, 3 rows. We only need 1. We have to figure out which one makes sense. But in order to do that, boys and girls, you probably have to draw pictures. And so you can use that second page because we only need to cut out 1 row. So you can use the rest of the page to help draw those pictures or use the back of your homework and figure it out. What I love when I look at our homework is to see us trying to figure it out using the strategies we've learned in class. So drawing pictures, you know, drawing objects, whatever it might be. I use circles a lot. So for me, I would be making, for the number sentence 4 plus 2 equals, I would be making 4 circles and 2 more, and then counting them all together. Remember, boys and girls, what does the word add mean? Add means put together. Good. I hope you hear the little jingle. And what does subtract mean? Subtract or minus mean? Subtract means take away. Right? Take away. So we have to read our number sentences like that. So 4 put together with 2 equals 4 put together 2, 7 take away 3. The more that we read those sentences and we're listening to what we're doing, the more we understand what these symbols mean, that those are math operations. We've talked about that this week. The better we will become at it. But we did a lot of practice this week with those skills. So I'm anxious to see how you do with that. So the next one is 2 and 3D shapes sort. This will be hard because we haven't talked about 3D shapes yet. It's coming. It's something we usually talk about at the end of kindergarten. So what we have down here is some shapes, okay? And so you might need a little bit of mom and dad's help with this one. But if they're a 2D shape, we've talked a little bit about it. But if they're a 2D shape, it's a flat shape. It means it has a side, a length, and a width, but there's nothing there, right? It's flat as can be. There's nothing thick about it versus this shape, okay? So can you see the difference? So I have a length and width, but I also have, it's chunky. There's something there. So I have depth to it. And so when you're taking a look, this is 2D. It's very boring. It's very flat. This one is a little bit more exciting because it looks like something that I could do something with. Okay, and so when you're looking at these shapes down here, I want you to think, is this something that I could actually touch and do something with, or is this pretty flat and boring? And if it's flat and boring, it's a 2D shape. Okay, that's not a very technical way of saying it, but for us boys and girls, it's a way to help us understand. So if it looks flat and not very exciting, it's a 2D shape. And if it looks like it might be something, like I look at this and I think of a can of soup, or maybe a can of soda if you like to drink soda. Or this one over here, this looks like one of the balls that we use at playground. So if it looks like it has something thick to it, then it's a 3D shape. Okay, just do the best you can on that one. It's just really introducing the idea to us. The next page is rhyming over rainbow. I love this one. I love this one because rhyming words can be very hard. So let's take a look. We have our rainbow here. Each of the rainbows have a picture, and we have to try to find the pictures on the side that would sound like the other one. When they sound alike, they are rhyming. So let's name our pictures over here, boys and girls. We have a house, we have log, we have hat, we have fox, we have car, and we have cake. Okay? So now I want to look at each rainbow, and I'm going to see which one sounds like the pictures we just read. So we have star, and I might have to go back and read each one. Star house, star log, no. Star hat, nope. Star fox, no. Star car, star car. That sounds very much alike. They sound the same, they rhyme. So I would cut out car and I would put it on the other side of the rainbow here for star. Okay, so we have star, cat, snake, fox, dog and mouse. Fox, fox and fox maybe. All right. Time to write. Time to write. So this one, boys and girls, you know, this week I asked you a lot about the beginning sounds, the middle sounds, and the ending sounds. In order for you to hear that, you have to say the picture. So we have 6, ant, can, run, car, hen, jar, bat. I want you to touch each picture and I want you to slowly hear each sound. For the first one, I would do it just like we do when we're going to swing it out of the park. Okay, where we've got our bat out and we're going to go s, I, x, s, I, x. We can do that, or we can do our chicken chop. So just to see this through, s, I, x, 6. And I want to be able to hear what each one of those sounds are and then know the letter so that I can write it down. So s, 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 I, x, 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 X. Okay, same way if we were to chicken chop and we had our hands behind our back and we would go s, x, s, x, right? However you want to chop it out, hear each one of those sounds and you listen for the sound, name the letter, and then you write it down. It's a sort of a 3-step process there. Okay, and the last one, always I love it because it's way more writing and we have to use the words and fill in the sentence. So shamrockin' readers. So you're going to take a look. We're looking at a frog right here, right? And a fish and maybe a nest of eggs and a stop sign, okay? And then up here we have words and it says nest, frog, stop, fish. So we have to figure out which one of those words best fits in our sentence. So the hoo-hoo can jump. Now I've got a couple clues. I've got my picture over here and I've got my words up here. So we should be able to use both of those and identify and see and understand that the frog can jump. And then you write the word frog in, okay? And that, my friends, is your homework. So it's taking the skills that we are learning every week in class and putting them into practice in a little bit different way than we do throughout the week, and hopefully understanding it a little bit better. So if I am not seeing you today, make sure that you're getting your homework done. And if you have any questions, moms and dads can ask me about that. And I think it's going to be a nice day out. I'll be inside all day. So hopefully it'll be a nice day. And just as important as doing your homework is getting out and enjoying some fresh air and getting some exercise. So super important. Boys and girls, make sure you're doing your reading, trying to read those books. Many of you tell me that you have books and you've already had those, but just practicing reading on our level is a good thing, day after day after day after day. So read, do your homework, get some fresh air, okay? And have a super good weekend, boys and girls. Get lots of rest. I will see you on Monday. All right, bye.